Hello, Carol Sutter here today. I would like to demonstrate how to take some of our tree trunk stamps and extend them by adding branches and leaves and making them into more of a complete tree. First, I'd like to show you how you can take this particular tree trunks and turn it into something like this. And what I did with this one, I stamped it on like a copy piece of paper, and I'm going to take my light box and I'm going to put it on the light box. Then the one I want to complete it on, I'm going to put it over top, and I'm going to use these particular stamps in order to get my leaves on the tree trunk. What I've done is I've taken this particular stamp and I've cut it in half so that I have just some leaves randomly rather than in this specific shape. And then what I want to do is I want to take my leaves to where my tree is potentially going to be. And I'm using meadow green, and I'm just filling in where the branches respectively are going to be. And what is happening normally is that the tree is just stopping at the top with open trunks. And if I fill in these leaves first, then I can come back after I've stamped it, and if I need to, I can come back and color back in with a pencil the actual shape of the tree trunk. Okay, let's stop there. This is all we've got with the light box. And so if we take, and I made a bunch of masks ahead of time so that we could just mask a few of these in order so that the trunks don't come back right through there and take away from what we've done. Let's just get a few of them in there. Now I come back and I'm going to stamp with black my tree trunks. Now I kind of wanted to get it into a spot where you've got plenty of tree to work with. Okay, what I'm going to do is remove this so that you can see where it took away from some of that stem look. Now, oftentimes I will work with my micron pen. I've talked about it before, one of my favorite instruments, and you can go back and you can place your picture back on what you've taken it from. You can draw back some of your stems or the trunks if you needed to. Add a little here and there, just go on with some of them and branch off if you need to or whatever, in order to get what you expect out of your tree back into the picture. You can continue to fill in with, say, a different color. Sometimes I like to take a lighter color of the green and come back and fill in. And sometimes you can take your stamp and just kind of twist it. It will make it look more filled in with a whole lot of less detail that you don't really need in the first place. Sometimes I take one of my stamps and I'll just stamp and stamp until all of the ink is gone. It will fill in your colors so much better, and it won't look like that. I've taken one stamp, one inking stamp. It softens it where it needs to be, or it just makes it feel more full. You can also go a deeper green if you want to get more of a completed deep look into some of those areas. Underneath some of that is where your deep dark will be, is underneath some of your branches. or on a certain side of the tree. We could make it really dark on one side because it could be in the shade. But that will give you a more completed look to your trunks. Then another trunk that we've been working with, that people are having a time to deal with it, is this particular trunk. Now that is a really wide looking trunk, and even at the top it's still very wide, and so it's going to be needing to be in a tall place where you can work with tall. And what I've done, and I didn't use a light bar with this, I started with just the branches at the top, and then I come back and I ink up my trunk and add to it. Some of this you can just finish off with your micron pen if you needed to, just to make sure you've got where you want whatever, because this kind of right in here lends itself to being the rest of your trunk. And you can add a few of the little touches of the sides of your normal trunk that's been there. And if you need to, you can bring this in and just give yourself a little bit of a look that you've been wanting in that. Bring the rest of your trunk down with your pen. Or you can take that particular branch and you can take just a plain piece of copy paper and lay it to the side of your trunk as a mask. I normally just ink up the very top part of this particular stamp in order to get that rest of that look. And you can do it over here on the other side. To get more. And then there's this little bush stamp that normally you would think it was just a bush. Well, sometimes that's the reason why I design some of these little stamps, is to complete some of the other stamps. And you may just take a little bit of the tops and add to that, so that you have that real fine look that you get at the top of the branches of completed little tiny stuff. This was also used in this particular stamping as literal trees beside the barn here and behind the fence. This is a real versatile stamp. A lot of these little ones are really great tools. I forget the word demonstrate.
Demonstrate. Do you want me to mouth?